We all know that our sovereignty has been interrupted upon first contact. It is it's inevitable that we can't we can't go back to what was happened or what happened to us. We're moving forward on that. We're moving forward on that with a spiritual connection, a strong spiritual connection. Before we can get traditional, before we can get political, we have to bring back the spiritual part of it. We have to bring back the understanding of our ancestors. That's even before we talk about political. The political part of it. And there's no separations in it. It's not separated. We have to go back to our original wampums. We have to go back to the original fire. This is people like myself that are tracing it back to where the original fire is exactly at. There's a couple of locations that were mentioned in the teachings. One was here, and one is in Burn Church. There's further. I don't know if the word is. No, it is the word researching on it. There's different artifacts, spiritual artifacts that are not close to hand for us. The Vatican, some are in France, some are in Germany. So we have to find individuals and support them so they can take this journey over there and not to retrieve them. Maybe. I don't think that'll happen in our lifetime. But I think with modern technology we can take pictures of them. We can take pictures of these artifacts and bring that spirit back. And the gifted people will be able to recreate the spirit of a wampum belt, of a medicine bag, of a pipe, and whatever else they took or was given to them. Some of the spiritual stuff were given as trades, as gifts. We've seen ourselves, people like the Pope, prime ministers receiving headdresses, sacred headdresses. That is their way of showing whatever it was at the time, whatever the individuals thought it was, But for me, we got to go back to the original plan. We got to go back to the beginning. Not too many people understand when we say we got to go back to the beginning. Meaning, when we go back to the beginning, we go back to the sacred lodges. One of the sacred lodges is the Sweat Lodge. And we know that it represents our mother's womb. So we're being rebirthed, like they say, the teachings are being rebirthed with different teachings when we come in and when we leave. And that's the beginning of it. When we go back to the sacred lodges, that's the beginning. That's where we get reintroduced to answers that we need to know in order to progress in retaining this sacred knowledge, sacred information. I don't really putting a label on anything, especially myself, but I consider myself a knowledge holder. The knowledge that I seeked and I found, and today I still retain it in a sacred manner. I pass it on to people in a sacred manner, knowing that they won't abuse it and they'll use it in the right way to help our people throughout Mi'kmaq, Unamaki. You know, there's a lot of people out there that are so willing to share this sacred way. It's up to us to recognize them, gift them, and take the knowledge. Take that knowledge and run with it. Feed it back to your people. Give it to the youngest that can retain that information. Start introducing it to them. It's I believe it's a way that is going to do a 360 on everybody. It politically and spiritually, it's all going to come back to the beginning again, like I just mentioned. It's going to come back to the beginning of that circle. That circle has no beginning and no end, but we're going to get back on it again, and we're going to go along with the people that want to partake in the sacred journey, I would call it. Today I see a lot of young women starting to understand their ways, who they are, where they come from, and they're doing very well. They're doing lodges, they're doing a lot of sacred ceremony. They're also bringing the language back. Language is very important. Language and culture is very important. One can't live without the other. You need the two of them. We have a lot of grandmothers, a lot of young women that are sharing the language. They're sharing the words, the sacred words. Myself, I understand more than I can speak, but I'm regaining it slowly. I'm not totally, I don't know the word for that. I guess bilingual, you know. It's not my first language. But a little more about myself. When I was looking for the truth, and I went out over 30 years, and I found a very special person in Nova Scotia by the name of Dave Geo, a blind man, holy man. And I stuck with him. And one thing he told me about learning this way, he said, don't ever stop. Be a sponge. And he regretted that when he told me. because I never let him go till he passed. But he left me knowledge and understanding that I didn't know till he passed. It all, would the word be transpired? Came to life. I guess it was meant to be not to see till he was gone. And that's what's happening today. And when we come back to with that, it was all introduced with the sovereignty of it. He taught me about the wampum belts. He taught me how the people made those beads, how the holy people made those wampum beads. Wapna'kikewi'skwaq. He told me and he showed me them. I've seen belts that were in Man of Museum. I think that's what they called it in Ottawa. Very, very sacred Mi'kmaq belts. A political belt and a spiritual belt. And they're still there today. They have, oh my God, the information in those belts is you don't have enough time to retain it. There's not enough time for an individual to explain it to you. You need to sit there day after day, night after night. To explain it, or to simplify it, it's like a window on a computer. When you get to the core of it, you got to open, and finally you're going to get to the core of it. And it takes a long time. And these are the belts that I promote. These are the belts that people have been taking out, reproducing them in Wapna'kikewi'skwaq. A lot of it is new to the people. But we're just touching the surface of it. There's people out there that are knowledge keepers of these belts. There are also the same people that are ceremony keepers of these belts. And I believe that the day is going to come. I told people already that the gathering of these belts and other nations is coming back. It's coming back. We're going to have a reunion of belts. They're calling each other. These belts are calling each other. And the people that have these belts or know where the belts are going to bring them out. Whether they're the original or reproduce. They're going to come out, and then we're going to move forward. We're going to move forward with this knowledge. Everybody that's in that circle is going to move forward with the knowledge. We're going to have great understanding. There's a lot of people out there with a lot of knowledge and understanding, but for some reason they're not coming out. I don't know the reason. There could be several reasons, especially their upbringing, maybe, trust issues. That's a big one. But with that, and myself, along with a few other people, not very many of us in this district here, have been fighting for sovereignty and a better way of life for our families and our community. And we believe that everybody as a family has a say in the community. So we brought that back as a district. I guess I would mention Gary and myself. We came back from 1990 during the local crisis, and that's when it all evolved. You know, we looked at each other and said, "Hey, let's do this." You know, and George Paul, another role model for the Mi'kmaq people. I listened to his, I believe it was on YouTube, when he went out west to fast. And when he went out west to fast, before he fasted, he seen he attended a powwow where he seen hundreds of dancers, hundreds of people, and he cried. And he said to himself, "How come my people don't have this?" And that's when the making of the honor song came. That's when the making of coming home and showing the young ones how to dance, showing them how to smudge, bringing them to the sweat lodge later on. So we all took it from there. Not many of us, but enough of us to get it out through Mi'kmaq or Unama'ki. And today we're still here, we're still practicing it, we're still sovereign people, we still fish, we still hunt, and we're getting bigger for the people that come into or around the sweat lodges. They're getting stronger here.